All right, Gemini, welcome to your burning question reading. We hadn't done one for a while, so I thought, why not, right? So this week's burning question is, what do I need to nurture? What do I need to nurture? So we're going to dive in. And also, happy birthday, Geminis. Happy birthday, Geminis. So I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. Okay. Let us away. Spirit, what messages do you have for Gemini for this Burning Questions reading? Please and thank you. This Burning Questions reading. Page of Swords. I feel like there's something that you're trying to look into, which is very you, right? I got some Gemini in my chart. I know. But it's like there's something that you're trying to grasp at here. There's some knowledge. What I just heard was like, Google is at my command. Like that kind of like, there's something that you're sniffing for. Six of Cups. Embracing something about the past. Whoa. Okay. Didn't know this was going to be a game of 52 pickup, but here we are. Six of Cups. So a little bit of past energy, I think, for you, Gemini. Could be a past person. Let's see what else the cards have to say here. The Magician. Interesting. We're releasing the Magician, though. That is fascinating energy to me. Releasing the Magician. Yeah, there's a little bit of defensive energy here, Gemini. I feel like there's something you're trying to figure out here. You can't really put your finger on it. Like, it's like there's like it's like you can feel it, but it's just not clear, which is a frustrating feeling when you're in Gemini. Trust me, I know. Yeah, it's if there's information that someone needs to know, that's probably why I love public libraries so much, because I feel like they're some of the greatest places on the planet. But I also feel like it's like there's information that you're not just looking for, but that like maybe you're trying to piece together things to do with the past. Like there's a way that you're trying to, I'm seeing like making whole, like I'm making whole here. Like you're making whole something. And it's like you need to embrace the way things, like the way something happened, the way that things were. And this is like that nurturing energy. Like you're needing to nurture either your younger self or the energy of something that happened, as opposed to trying to fix it or make it any different. Because like the Magician works for manifestations, but it can't change what's happened. 333 on the time. It can only change I guess like the Magician card can't even really change things, right? This is also a communication card, so it's like, how are you communicating with the universe about this particular thing here? Like it's like a making whole, needing to nurture some part of yourself. It's almost like a calling it back home, calling it back home. And this Nine of Wands, not Knight of Wands. This Nine of Wands is the how the light gets in, and I feel like this is about you. Having a little more compassion for yourself and your journey, because I almost get that the Nine of Wands is showing up in this energy of looking like super upset at this journey, right? And like you're starting with two like these kind of defensive-ish energies are sort of bookending the reading, right? So it's almost like there's one part where you're like, I will find this, I will get this sorted, I will do this like very determined energy. And then you're ending on a kind of defensive energy, almost as though the light is getting in here when we decide to put down the wands or to prioritize what wands to carry. I don't know if you can hear the cat meowing. Oh my goodness. He's a very, very disheartened boy because he cannot get into the basement. And you know, cats that need to get into spaces and places, it just is the worst when they can't. So, it's not my cat. She's sitting on the bed like a darling because she is one. but, and he's a little tornado right now though, because he's quite young. But this energy for me, for you, Gemini, the way I'm reading it here is just this sort of, at once it's like understanding your power, but it's like you are also underestimating how much power you have. Like it's almost like you don't believe it, because if you did believe it, then you would have to change the way that you're approaching this situation or the past or viewing the past. Like there's something about perspective here and needing to nurture a more positive or a more favorable way of looking at this, and like maybe a way of looking at yourself. This could be some inner child work as well. It could very well be. So Spirit, can you give me some messages here on the Page of Swords to clarify for my Geminis for this burning questions reading, what we're nurturing? Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, King of Wands, Queen of Cups, Strength. Yeah, there's the Queen of Wands. And the Two of Cups. Holy. Okay, so there's like a lot here. I almost get that these are like different. I'm hearing teachers, like not teachers as in like spiritual teachers necessarily, but like I'm almost getting that like these are different people who gave you different methodologies of finding information. Like you're showing up here in this really beautiful open-hearted energy, Gemini, and then it's like this the path was like paved by these sort of different facing energies, right? Like follow your emotions. No, follow your passions and your ambition. Well, follow your, maybe, different ways of like showing up in yourself and prioritizing yourself and all of this stuff. But then it's like they're competing with one another. And then you're sort of wrestling with integrating all of them with this Strength card. Like you're really wrestling with them, but you end up offering this Two of Cups. And I don't get the impression that the Two of Cups here is necessarily a soulmate card. I get the impression that you're offering that second cup to a younger version of yourself and sort of making peace with some kind of past here, making peace with the past. It could be, honestly, it could just be integrating different parts of yourself. We sometimes do this, like it can be soul journeying work and soul retrieval work that we don't really understand that we're doing, but we do it at an astral level when we're dreaming. We do it in different times and that kind of thing. So we don't typically, like, we don't fully understand how it's happening. It's happened to me before and I haven't really like intended to do it, but it was what happened anyway. So I get that process happening here. And I think that there's like this way that you're healing your perspective that is helping you to trust in yourself more. But this embracing this Six of Cups, Spirit, what messages do you have for my Geminis on this particular energy here, nurturing this energy, embracing this Six of Cups? I'm hearing giving yourself the grace that other people may not have when you were younger. I don't know, Gem. Eight of Wands, and by Wands I mean swords. Eight of Swords, Star, Eight of Wands. Okay, foretelling, I guess. Ace of Cups, and there's the Knight of Wands. Ooh, the Ten of Cups too. I'll leave that there though. This is a lot of healing. This is a lot of healing taking place, Gemini. So I think it's like embracing healing, embracing. Sometimes with soul journeying and things like that, we can push away parts of ourselves so much that we lose that, not completely, but it gets so disconnected from us. So we really have to do work to pull it back in, and not just pull it back in terms of like, yes, I'm going to do these, 4 or 5 affirmations and then it is going to be done. It will be a done thing. It's about making a concerted effort over time to call that energy back to yourself, and also to cultivate space for it so that it is able to trust you, because it's a piece of you that you just kind of lost along the way. But this to me is I feel like this Eight of Swords it's that healing perspective. Like we're healing a perspective, and I feel like there's a sense of hope that you're gaining, that you're giving yourself some hope here. and maybe you're trusting in yourself again, because these defensive energies showing up here. This Eight of Wands is about travel, communication, movement in general, like a fast moving energy. And I feel like this is kind of reconnecting you with either love in general. We do have more than enough signs here of love and relationship with the Ten of Cups on the bottom there too. So this, I think, is about healing relationships. And I think it might be about moving, it's like shifting the momentum a little bit, so that it's like this Eight of Wands is communication coming in. So that could be somebody messaging you from the past, because we have the Six of Cups here. So it could be communication from the past, but it could be also communication. The Ace of Cups to me is almost coming across as like your heart space and your soul. So it's like your soul is communicating a little bit with you here, perhaps through someone coming in from the past, right? We're moving out of the Mercury retrograde, I think, the very beginning of June. So that could be like one of those last little like things where like Mercury retrograde just spits this last one out. Apropos of a lot of the other retrogrades in terms of the Pluto retrograde that we're in, and the pre-shadow for the Saturn retrograde. But I think that this is this communication is going to be pretty healing for you. You may not necessarily trust it at first. It could be coming to you in a dream. It could be coming to you, from a distance, like from afar. It could be someone who's not close to you. But this, again, it could be, you speaking to you through dreams and things like that too. It is a healing communication, though, and I think that there's something about it to embrace, namely the way that it's helping you to heal a perspective that you've held on the past. Sometimes, like, I've experienced it before, where like an ex will message and say like, "Hey, I'm really sorry that this happened," and they take responsibility for what they did or whatnot, and you're like, "Whoa, this was way out of left field," and you weren't expecting it, and you don't have to engage with it and be like, "Yeah, let's be best friends," right? But it gives you some peace of mind. Yeah, there's Temperance and the Death card on the bottom there. Yeah, Temperance on the death and the Death. That's like, this is not just a transformation, but this is like a balance shift. And the Death card to me represents new, right? So I feel like weird for saying it, but the Death card is like one of my favorite cards in the tarot. It's not like, it's just it reminds me of a forest in the fall. But that's that kind of really thick nutrient layer that is in your life right now from something to do with the past, and healing that, right? And healing it. And to me, the Knight of Wands is showing up in this like creative vitality. Like this is like a spark of inspiration that leaves you feeling fearless, right? There's something about this that you just feel fearless with. Fearless about. Six of Swords, clarifying the Magician. So we have the Six of Swords, the Moon, the Magician, and the World. Super casual, just a whole bunch of major arcana here. So again, this is that release energy. This is really about releasing control over things you can't see, right? The Magician and manifesting. Sometimes we do manifesting things because we're really uncomfortable with how things are. So we want to try to control the outcome by manifesting, by manifesting a different outcome, by manifesting something different. And what we need to do is to really just be okay with where we are. It's the less sexy work. It's the work of Saturn. Like, it's not like, no one's like, yeah, let's go do Saturn work. Woo! Like, no one's overly excited, but it is the thing that will really help you right now. And that's, these are also fixed signs that this could be related to, or that could be helping you, because I get the impression that this is like a helping energy, right? You're releasing control. You're releasing the need to know, really, is what it is. It's not so much control, but we can use manifesting in a way that's like, we can use manifesting in a way that is about trying to get something so that we don't feel the absence of it, so that we don't have to just sit with that and be with that and listen to what it has to teach us, and be gentle with ourselves and reintroduce ourselves to ourselves in those moments, in those gaps in between, right? Like the time it takes between a manifestation to arrive in your heart to when it physically arrives in front of you, right? We can rush into all of these different manifesting techniques, and we can really, it's like a cat. When a cat can purr because it's comforted and comfortable and just feeling so much love and appreciation. But then a cat can also purr when it's petrified of something, and it uses it to calm itself down, right? So I think about it in that context here, where it's like maybe that was how you were manifesting before. You were like, yes, I'm so happy, I'm so excited, but on the inside you're like, damn it. Right? So you're trying to like force something and it just wasn't budging. And I think that this world energy here is I think that the world energy here is just doing the thing that doesn't immediately relieve anything, but it is the thing that is the long-term answer, right? It's the long-term solution. It's like the 10 of Pentacles of life lessons, right? Whoa. That was just kidding, not shuffling. Spirit, what messages do you have for my creative collective for this Gemini reading here? 9 of Wands. All right. Someone's feeling dramatic about themselves. You might have Leo in your chart somewhere. No, I'm kidding. I love Leo, so it's all good. But this, so this coming out here is like the story of your light is like you're deciding to embody your power a little bit. I think you're deciding. It's like let me pull the rest of these here because I have an idea of where this is going, and I feel like it's in a Leo direction. I feel the sun on this one a little bit. 10 of Cups. 5 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Maybe not the sun, but let me tell you, the process of getting there. Because the 10 of Cups is here to say, like, there's like a bit of wish fulfillment, but it's like, I'm hearing the words, we'll laugh about this one day. I'm not quite sure what that means, Gemini, in the context of the 6 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. This, like, that could be like just a response, like a negative response that you have to something, but I don't know where that came from, but it was just such a curious phrase to pop into my head. So when it comes to this, it's like you're choosing happiness here. You're choosing to be in your power. And I think that this is like communicating. So you're ruled by Mercury, which is showing up in the Lovers here, and the Magician overwhelmingly. So this, I think, has something to do with Mercury retrograde number 1. It could have affected you a lot too. Like it could have affected you a lot to just end of, but I think the Gemini new moon, tonight, tomorrow is another really important turning point. I'm hearing pivot, not like Chandler, like pivot. I've never watched Friends, but I I have seen that clip on YouTube because people have sent it to me after they've heard that I've never watched Friends before. But this, I feel like this, it's like a turning point for you. It could be the new moon. Like it really could be just that simple where there's something, and you can use the new moon energy the night of it. But you can also use the energy of it in the days afterwards. I think it's like 3 to 5 days afterwards. It weakens the further away you get from it, but you can still use that energy to activate. And I feel like this is like, this is kind of like a give and take that's a little more even. And like, you don't, when you're manifesting to escape reality, it can be in this 5 of Swords energy, and the universe sees it. It knows, right? So this is like compelling you or trying to get you to shift into a more positive expectation place, as opposed to, this kind of 5 of Swords place, because it's like reality shouldn't be something that you have to escape from, darlings. It really shouldn't. And not to should on you and say, you should do this, then you should do it. No, I'm not here to to tell you what to do. But there's just like, this is giving for the sake of itself. And this is like positive expectation. This is almost like a healing of our relationship to giving and receiving. And if it's been out of balance for too long, we can go into this 5 of Swords place because we don't trust that there's going to be anything coming back. And sometimes that's how we can manifest and build vision boards and do all of these things, because we're doing it from a place that's still kind of empty, right? We're doing it from a place to fill the hole, instead of going to the hole and saying, I love you. What are you here to teach me? Instead of going to that hole within that things have that pain has burned in you, and just say, I'm here and I'm not disappearing because it hurts. So it's like when you're in that energy for too long, you can forget what it feels like to just be in this understanding that positive expectations are enough to receive, right? And that good does come from that. And then it's not the getting of the thing, it's the journey there. It's the journey through and to it. So I get the impression, Gemini, that you're maybe healing a little bit of trust and faith in the universe here too. Like you're healing your a bit of trust. And I think that it's like it starts with this level of inner child, and I think that it starts with the level of the inner child because you're coming from a place now of it's not just about like some, the banality of like knowing what you're worth, but I think it's something deeper than that, where you're understanding that it's safe to receive, right? It's safe to receive. Because I see that this Page of Swords is quite defensive, and it's like the search for information because there's a lack of trust. The search for info because there's a lack of trust, right? And I don't know, like I read a ton, and that can easily slip into a shadow like that too, right? So like it's not uncommon, but I don't know if people just don't think about it in that context, right? We have information accessible to us at the drop of a hat more than ever before. Like it's just always on. And we are also expected to be always on in turn, right? We're expected to just be always on. And I think that this is a call to maybe turn off in a way so that you can, as Abraham Hicks says, tap in, turn in, tune on. No, tap in, tune in, turn on. Oh my goodness. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. Tap in, tune in, turn on to spirit, and like to hear, to really hear. Convince yourself, not others. Yeah. And that's what manifesting is. This is that manifesting energy, right? We're like, we do all these exercises, we do all the work, we write all this stuff down. We're like, yeah, I'm going to be magnetic AF. And like, woo, I'm going to do all the things. And it ends up disconnecting us because we're doing it from a place of, I have to get the things to distract me from how I'm feeling, instead of tending to the feelings like a garden and cultivating that and meeting with this, like, this inner kid, this inner child, this tiny human inside of you, inside of all of us, that is really excited to be met and seen, right? And not run from. So it's sort of like you have to convince yourself that your peace matters, not convince others of this stuff that you're going to get coming to you, or the type of person or the attractor that you are, right? Yeehaw. Oh my God, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it like that. Oh, I tried to sing in the car on the way home from work today, and were your ears ringing from it? Because mine were. No, I'm kidding. This is about a hell yes. This is a lot of hell yes. 2-2 on the time. So it's like looking for the hell yes, and that's about manifesting. That's what that means, right? It's not about like, hell yes, this feels good right now. It's about saying, hell yes, this feels great, but I also want to feel great and cultivate that every day. I want to cultivate that a little bit in my everyday, so that when manifestations meet me on the path, it's not like, wow, this is so incredible, and how wild is this? I can't believe it. This is about going, yeah, I knew that was coming, but I also have something else that's even better coming, and I know it. I can feel it, right? But it's I feel like I'm talking a lot about Abraham Hicks lately. It's been very active in my vibration, so to speak. But it's like this idea of the next logical step. What's the next logical step in your manifesting, right? That is more powerful than doing the exercises or different processes to connect to the thing you want without cultivating the feelings within you first. Danielle Laporte wrote a great book called The Desire Map. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So and she too is a student of Abraham Hicks. It's funny because I think both she and Kyle Cease, I think that's how you say his last name, they both, I'm pretty sure I saw him on an Abraham Hicks cruise as well. Not like on it. I wasn't like, oh, hey, Kyle. Like, it wasn't like that. It was in the video footage of it. I think it was him, and that, like, she showed up in it as well in a different clip at some point. I've tried to look for it, but I can't find it. So that could be inaccurate information, but I swear I've seen them both, which kind of tells you about their praxis too, right? Like, they're in it and they're doing the work as well. So I share my light with the world, and big old light at that. Yeah. And sometimes this manifesting power, this energy of drawing things to us, this magnetism is less about nurturing the process and more about nurturing our joy on the way to it. It's more about nurturing our joy on the way to it, Gemini. Yeah. By spreading loving energy, I attract more love. There's a really good process for manifesting. Spread that stuff inside too, right? Don't forget to spread it inside of you as well. That matters. That matters a lot too. Big time. That matters. So Gemini, that's your reading. So what are you nurturing? You're nurturing yourself. You're nurturing your manifestations. You're nurturing a healthy path that doesn't use manifesting to distract you from past pain. You're healing that too. This is a really rich time for you. It doesn't shock me because of the Gemini new moon. So we're kind of embarking upon new paths and healing ones at that. Yeah. This is excellent. Specifically because you're showing up in your own reading. I mean, come on. That's amazing. With the 10 of Cups, you kidding me? That's great. So, Gemini, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, so thank you so much for that. I'm very grateful. And if this resonated, please feel free to like and subscribe. It helps me to grow the channel. And to know that this resonated, there are other ways you can connect on the channel as well, so check that out. But if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, it finds you very, very well, my friends. Take care.